lesson, we're going to talk about how to address a royal person. So, when you address a king and queen, what do you call them? Anybody know? There you go, yes. When you first greet a king or a queen, you call them Your Majesty. And follow a conversation if they choose to continue talking with you, because if you try to talk to them first, it's very rude and you might get arrested. You continue calling them sir or sire for a king, or ma'am for a queen. Hello. Welcome. How about for an emperor or an empress? What do you think their title is? Anybody? No? Okay. You call them Your Imperial Majesty. It's very simple. And following conversation, if you don't get arrested, is just Majesty. Now this one's easy. Prince and Princess. What do you call them? Prince and Princess? It's Your Royal Highness. And when you continue talking to them, it's a sir for a prince and ma'am for a princess. You can also call them Highness. What you cannot call them is their first name or their title. Anyway, so if we were in a proper court of the royal palace, you would call me Your Highness, not Princess Peach, because that would get you arrested. How about Duke and Duchess? You're Duke or Duchess? What do you call a Duke or a Duchess? conversation must be initiated by the royal person. If you are spoken to, then you may speak. Otherwise, what's going to happen? You get arrested. Don't take photographs of the royal person. It's considered an invasion of personal privacy and
Wait, the way I'm looking at you. Put it away. I know you got a camera. Put it away.
Yes.
Put it away.
It's very rude, and it's considered trying to capture a timeless moment, which is impossible. Next, keep your hands at your sides and out of your pockets when speaking to royalty. It's considered that you're bored if you have your hands in your pockets, or they're crossed behind your back. Anything like that's considered rude. And you will get... You won't actually get arrested, but I like it when you say that. Most importantly of all, if you can't remember these simple rules, don't panic. Somebody next to you will know what to do. Hopefully. Okay. On to lesson 2. How to dress for the royal court. Men's court dress is completely different than women's court dress, obviously. But there's also rules and regulations by which both must follow. So for men, what's acceptable is a morning suit and a business suit. This is what this looks like. The acceptable colors are beige, black, and gray. Colors like purple, or pink, or yellow are not acceptable. Cufflinks, pocket watches, top hats, gloves, and jewelry.
Oh, we're talking about guys. Oh, excuse me, princess.
Jewelry is okay as long as it's not body and professional. Men must be clean shaven and neatly trimmed. Long hair is frowned upon in the court. Not mine, of course. Tuxedos are also approved, but they're not necessary, and dress shoes are required. Go ahead and show this to everybody if you could. You're welcome. She's going to come around with those pictures to see what they look like. And what is unacceptable is casual suits and streetwear. So, despite what you've seen, Mario and Luigi in the royal court, that is not acceptable. That's just for video games. Tattoos, gauged ears, nose piercings, any other bodily alterations are not allowed in the court. If you have tattoos, they have to be covered. Casual business wear, vests and pants, or anything wrinkled is not acceptable. Denim is not allowed at any time. Of course, unless you're Mario and Luigi. That's a different story. Hair must not be spiked or gelled in any exotic way. Sorry. Sleeves may not be rolled up. Boots, tennis shoes, and loafers are not allowed. So that is what is not acceptable. Here are the pictures. And we're on to women's court dress. What is acceptable? All dresses must have covered shoulders and have to hang below the knee. Colors must be tasteful and match with the theme of the event. Women are not allowed to wear white to a royal wedding. That's only pride. Dress must be conservative and avoid garnering attention because no one should outdress the royal person, ever. Right? Hey, remember that. Jewelry, earrings, and hats are acceptable as long as they are tasteful. Hair must be styled neatly and combed. Elaborate hairstyles are not acceptable. What? Hey, this doesn't count. No.
What about yours? I've got horns.
But I would say so. Your kingdom doesn't count. Shoes must be closed-toed and no more than 5 inches in height. Show that. And what is unacceptable, women are not allowed to wear pants at any time in the royal court. You are not a man. Even under the dress.
Even under the dress.
We'll talk about that. It's okay while you're in the professional and private sector, but not in the royal court to wear pants. Plunging necklines, form-fitting dresses, and skirts higher than the knee are not allowed. That is provocative and not okay. Unnatural hair color is not allowed, and flip-flops and sandals are not allowed. All right. Now, if everybody can stand up and come around the table. So this lesson is about dining in the royal court. This is a proper dining setup, almost. Pretend for a moment there's a plate here, and there's a teacup here. So what we have here is the salad plate, dinner plate, your dessert fork and spoon, your butter trowel, and your bread plate, your napkin, soup spoon, salad fork, teaspoon, dinner knife, dinner fork, water glass, red wine glass, and white wine glass, and teapot.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot to take in, yes. So,
Can't we just put it all in one plate?
you would think so, but that's not how it goes. So, the proper way to eat is just to go work from outside and in. Like they say in that one movie that I can't remember. Alright. Usually there's also a place card. Thank you. It tells you your name and the meal that you're serving. Because your meal is served in advance so that the servants don't have to interrupt you with questions during dinner. And we have some table manners. You can go ahead and sit down. Thank you very much. All right. Table manners of the royal court. Remember, Princess Daisy is going to show you what not to do. Because she's not a real princess. Excuse me?
I'm princess, all right.
Table manners in the royal court. Men must wait until all ladies are seated before seating themselves. No one may sit until the royal person is sat.
Stand up, people.
Okay. While waiting to be served, sit quietly with your hands on your lap and this conversation has already started. Do not seem impatient to be served. Dinner is just the bon appetit of the conversation. So basically it's just a conversation. Unfold your napkin and spread it square shaped across your lap. Like so. So instead of diamond shaped, this is not right. This is right. Spread your hands in your lap. Simple, right? Daisy, show them what not to do.
I'll show you what not to do. Oh, there.
Precisely. That is what you should not do with a napkin at the dinner table, among many other things. You may not begin your meal until the royal person has begun his or hers. It's the same thing with conversation. You can't talk to them before they talk to you. You can't eat before they start eating. Bread is to be broken, not cut. Pieces should be small and easy to pick up with 2 fingers. So don't try to shove a whole loaf in your mouth. This has happened before. It's very unpolite. Impolite. Crackers, olives, celery, radishes, nuts, fruits, corn on the cob, bonbons, cherries, plums, and grapes are eaten with the fingers one at a time. You should never put your fingers in your mouth or pick your teeth at the table. Daisy.
What?
I saw you.
No, I didn't.
Cheese is to be sliced in small pieces and eaten on bread or crackers. Almost all foods are eaten with your dinner knife and your dinner fork. You should never have them leave your hands. That's just the rule of thumb. Don't ask me why. You must not blow on soup or other hot liquids to cool them. You must wait until they are cooled.
Why not?
Because you could make a mess. That's how that goes.
What, so you want me to just burn my mouth?
Yes. You royal person, you would be able to take it. If you're given food that you don't like or don't care for, you can't spit it out at the table. That's rude. Of course. What you have to do is you take the food regardless whether you like it or not, taste it, and if you don't care for it, tell the host that your meal is acceptable and it's just fine, and then drop the subject. Because to linger on it is very, very rude. And you may ask the servant for as much water as you like, but you can never ask for seconds unless the royal person is eating seconds. Or else that's considered very rude too. Daisy. What? I'm royal too. But you were at dinner last night. That's not rude. If you drop a utensil, you must not pick it up. The servants will do this for you. And when the royal person is finished with his or her meal, you are finished as well. If you continue eating, it's very rude. You'll probably get thrown out of dinner and never invited ever again. What? Huh. When dinner's finished, it's proper to offer a toast to the royal person. Just make sure you're not doing it over music or when somebody is talking, unlike President Barack Obama, who did that with the Queen. Don't beat him. That's what they told me to say. I don't know who he is. When you're ready to leave, unfold your napkin and place it to the left of your plate. So when you're ready, it's going to go over here, and your utensils will go on your plate just like this. This is the universal sign for when you're finished eating. However, if you're not finished eating and you just get up to go to the restroom, you put them to the side of your plate so that the servants know not to take your plate. Make sense? Probably not. Put this back. And if you must leave the table in the midst of a meal, you must ask the host of the dinner for permission. You may never talk to the royal person unless they talk to you first. That's just the golden rule. Always be polite and thank your host. Even if you don't remember the small stuff of dining etiquette, just work your way through it. You'll be fine. All right. Lesson 4. How to take tea in the royal court. Tea time is so much fun, and it's a custom that's centuries old. So people have been doing it for years and years and years, and it's still considered a good thing today. So, when you don't have access to a silver tea service, does anybody know what a silver tea service is? It's very, very fancy. Oh, I have a picture. If you don't have one, the following items will do just fine, as long as you have a teapot made of earthenware or china, a creamer for milk, a sugar bowl with cubed sugar only, no powdered sugar, silk sugar, a pitcher of hot water for those who prefer weak tea, a plate of lemon slices or wedges, a cup and saucer for each guest, correctly made of the same material as the teapot, and small plates, napkins, and knives and forks for each guest. And the only teas acceptable to serve are Earl Grey and black tea.
No green tea?
No green tea. Just Earl Grey or black. Go ahead and show people this silver setup. When you send out invitations, they must be sent 1 week in advance by a telephone call, an email, or a calling card.
No Facebook?
No Facebook.
What?
No social media. It has to be face-to-face for it to be proper. Be sure you're offered one of your invitees to be the pourer. Excuse me.
Oh, nothing.
One of your guests should be named as the pourer of the tea. The pourer is a great honor. It shows that you trust them with your tea set. So, make sure it's like your closest friend. It should never be the guest of honor. The guest of honor, if not actual royalty, should be treated as such. So, when you have a guest of honor, when you bring them into your house, they must stand next to you at the entrance of the door, and you must introduce them to every guest coming in. And they have to say hi and approve of them to be able to come into the party. That's just how things work. When you send invitations, make sure your guest of honor is listed on the invitation, and no one may leave the party until the guest of honor leaves. It's the same thing with royalty. You can't talk to them unless they talk to you, all that kind of stuff. Now it's tea time. When all your guests have arrived, it's officially tea time. Tea time is when? Does anybody know when it starts? Got British people that do it. Yes.
When the guest of honor decides to start.
That's correct, yes. But the traditional tea time is at 4 o'clock. That's called high tea. But you can start as early as 2 p.m. as long as your guests know ahead of time. And along with tea, you serve 3 courses. The first course is sabomes, which is tiny sandwiches, cucumber, tuna, anything like that. Second course is scones, and the third course is pastries. So cookies, cakes, anything yummy like that. Now, how to hold your teacup and your saucers properly. Unfortunately, we don't have a teacup, so we're just going to have to improvise. So,
We'll use these.
yes, for all intents and purposes, this is a teacup.
And let's get drunk afterwards at my party. Come on.
Come on, see,
Who's up?
no.
Who's down?
Hey,
Who's up?
it's not proper etiquette.
Excuse me, princess.
Okay, so when you hold a teacup, you will have a handle most of the time. You put your index finger through the handle. These two will curve around, just like this. Make sure you keep your thumb on the lid. And then this is very awkward. See, that's not what you do. Your saucer will be underneath, held on all 4 of your fingers with the thumb on the lid, or the rim. And when you sip, don't move it very far from the saucer, because it's very improper place. You have to
use your left hand?
Yes.
I'm right-handed.
Well, if you're right-handed, there's a solution. Do the same thing on the other side. Just like that.
Okay.
That's okay. Go.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody know what a gaiwan is? Yes.
Southern China little teapot that you drink out of.
That's right. It's a teapot with a lid and no handle. So when you're drinking from one of those, it's the same concept, except for you have your thumb on the handle, and when you go to drink tea, you push it back with your thumb, drink the tea, filter the tea leaves, and then put it back. And your thumb should never leave the lid. Okay? Do not cradle the cup in one hand. So you see those movies and those movie stars who hold the cup like this? That's not right. Right. Don't do anything like that.
That's not how you read.
And don't swirl the tea in the cup. It's not wine, unfortunately. And when you're sipping from a gaiwan, don't strike the lid or take the lid off at any time. It's considered poor form to make more noise than necessary. So when you're stirring your tea, try not to scrape your teaspoon against the cup or slurp your drink or anything like that. Don't do that. Now stirring tea, instead of stirring circular, what you want to do is stir back and forth. Don't ask me why, it's just the way of things. Really?
Well.
And proper tea pouring, of course, that's the most important part of the tea party, or else you won't get any tea. Tea should be poured by the host or a close friend, never by servants or the guest of honor. Cups should be poured one at a time and handed out individually by the pourer. And this is when you tell the pourer if you want sugar, lemon, right. I don't know what she said. Sugar, lemon, or milk. Those are the only complements you can have with tea. And if you're adding sugar, it has to be before the lemon, otherwise the citric acid will cause the sugar not to dissolve. Which is very interesting science fact that I didn't know. If milk is requested, you pour it into the cup after the tea. Unlike some people who tell you to pour it before, this will curdle the tea. I don't know how that happens. Science. No. Lemon slices must be placed in the tea and not on the side of the cup. This is improper. And as with any other meal in the presence of royalty, remember to speak only when spoken to. Or get arrested. Hopefully not. And on to our lesson 5, manners of the royal court. Even if you never become royalty, these manners will help you through life. It'll make people like you. So the basic rules for men are to stand up when a lady enters the room.
Come on. Come on.
But nobody's entered yet. What? So? They don't have to do it. They're just flirting. You stand when a lady stands. Offer your seat to a lady if no other seats are available. Assist a lady with her chair when she sits or stands from the table. Promptly retrieve dropped items for a lady. Open doors for a lady. Help a lady with her coat, cloak, or shawl. Offer to bring a lady a refreshment if they are available. Offer your arm to escort a lady with whom you are acquainted into or out of social events or over uneven ground. Remove your hat when you enter a building.
That means plumber's hat.
And you, videographer, but you're okay.
You in the back. That's you.
Lift your hat to a lady when she greets you in public, but remember, if she doesn't greet you first, that's considered very, should we say, progressive, and she could very well call the police on you, so don't do that. And always say please and thank you for everything. Now, what you should never do is curse or discuss impolite subjects in the presence of a lady or in public. You should never leave a lady you know unattended in an unfamiliar place unless she tells you it's okay. You should never use tobacco in any form when a lady is present. You should never greet a lady in public unless she acknowledges you first. You should never hit, paw, or otherwise act aggressively toward a lady or anyone else. Or consider yourself greater than anyone.
I'm the best.
Yeah, I like that. Basic rules for women. It would be wise for you to take note. Always graciously accept offers of assistance, if you feel comfortable with it, of course. Have a good posture and don't slouch. Thank you. Always listen carefully to what someone has to say. Hold the door open for others. Stay calm, cool, and collected. Make compliments and take compliments. Dress elegantly and for the occasion. And Never. What are you doing? Don't do that. This is improper. Oh my goodness. Should never gossip. Never bring up subjects that should only be spoken of inside the home. Never fawn over men to gain anything of material worth. What? Nothing. Never act aggressively in any situation unless it's a matter of self-defense. Daisy? Huh? Nothing. Okay. Basic sitting etiquette for men. Who wants to be our guinea pigs?
Come on.
Anybody?
There you go.
There you
Come
go.
on.
All right. So, I'm going to take this seat. Sit it right in the middle.
Facing outer.
Facing men. Okay, go ahead and show us how you think you should sit in the royal court.
Bravo.
Very good, very good. Now cross your legs. Okay. All right. Very good. Give him a round of applause. Okay. So, see how he's got his back straight, his head's in line with his shoulders, and his hands are in his lap, which is very proper. Now, when men cross their legs, they should be crossed over the knee. There you go. Good job. Just make sure it's not all crazy and stuff. And keep your attention focused on the person you're talking to. If your chair has arms, keep your hands on the arms. If not, just keep them in your lap. It's the same thing when you don't have your legs crossed. You have to keep your feet and your knees together. So very good. Thank you again. Go ahead and sit down. Sit. Okay. So that was a very good example. Now what not to do? Who wants to be the bad person? Anybody? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's right. Okay, so show us how not to sit. Very good.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's exactly what you shouldn't do when you're talking to somebody royal, because that's very rude.
Yep.
When you lean forward, it's very provocative. Shouldn't be done. When you lean back, it's considered a sign of boredom. Don't stop! Stop doing that! What? This is a royal etiquette class. Well, then again, I guess you're supposed to show. Anyway, excuse me for my outburst. So, casual conversation rarely ever takes place in the royal court. It's usually about business, diplomacy, something else of the sort. So you should never sit casually. You should always act professional, right? Thank you. You can go ahead and sit. Give her a round of applause. Yay. All right, sitting for women. We'll go ahead and use Daisy for this one. Okay. So show us what is acceptable. Very good. So if you can't see, her legs are crossed at the ankle, under the dress. Very good. Hands are in your lap. Also, you can plant your feet, knees together, feet together. Same thing for a man. Just keep your legs together. Perfect. Show us unacceptable sitting. Something you're good at. Very good. This is not acceptable sitting for a royal princess. Everybody? Don't wide plant your feet, don't lean forward, don't slouch. Everything she's doing is what you shouldn't do. Don't show your legs to men, anything like that. Stop! That's enough! Okay, thank you, Daisy. Okay. Does anybody know what a thank you note is? I would hope everybody does. Thank you notes? Thank you notes? Yes. Thank you notes are to be sent out after every gift you receive, no matter how small or how big it is. Occasions to send a thank you note for... I suck. That was very rude. Huh. Occasions to send thank you notes for is a wedding or a baby shower, baby arrival, birthday, Christmas, Easter, gifts received during illness or condolences, graduation, appreciation, and a promotion. Those are all things that should receive a thank you note. How to write a thank you note. The first preparation is when you send out invitations to your event. Keep the addresses and names recorded for your thank you notes later. Make sure your thank you note stationery and your invitation stationery are the same. Keep a list of what gifts you receive and from whom. It is important to mention the gifts in the thank you note so that they don't think you're just sending a random thank you and you have no idea what they gave you. That's very rude. Step 2, when you write the notes, they must be handwritten in black or blue ink. Make sure you send them to the right people with the right gifts.
She writes pink.
But I'm allowed to do that. I'm a princess.
You don't count.
Okay. A minute? Later. Make sure that your thank you notes are sent out 2 weeks after you receive your gifts, because to wait any longer is considered rude and that you didn't like the gift.
Why not?
That's how royal court goes. When you're addressing somebody in the thank you notes, make sure you call them Mr. or Mrs., whatever their last name is. Or if they're a royal person, make sure you use their proper titles. King and Queen is your Majesty. Prince and Princess is your Royal Highness.
Just write Daisy in line. Just put it.
Make sure you just be proper. Make sure the notes are short and sweet. You don't want to write a novel to anybody. That's ridiculous.
Or a letter.
And
Especially love letters. Don't want to be flirting on the princesses.
like you followed that rule. Excuse me. I didn't say.
Yeah, you did.
No. Anyway, if somebody had a speech at your wedding or drove people to your event or anything like that, you want to send something special in the thank you note for them so that they know they're appreciated for all their hard work. Now, other basic rules to remember are always be punctual to everything. As they say, the early bird catches the worm. If invited to a social function, don't bring other people unless the invitation is open, because that's considered very rude. RSVP to all invitations. If you don't RSVP, don't go. Because if you didn't say you were going to show up, you probably should, right? At least I would think so. When at social functions, don't stand by people you already know. Go ahead and make friends. That's how you get places, right? Always use proper grammar. Remove slang from your vocabulary and speech habits. Don't talk in conversation. Exactly. Don't do that. Take responsibility for all your actions, even if there's negative consequences involved.
Well,
Lying and
excuse me, princess.
Correct. Lying and cheating only leads to downfall in any situation. And help those who require your help. Be fair and
I am
kind.
such a good princess. Am I?
Maybe. Sometimes. First and lasting impressions are vital to life. This is very good information if you're going to a job interview or you're meeting your in-laws for the first time. Anything like that. Yes. Remember what's important. Being virtuous, well-mannered, and even-tempered at all times. And, are there any questions? Any questions? Anything you want to know about the royal court? You can answer them. No questions? Okay. Well, that should be the end of our panel. Thank you very much for participating. I hope you took away a lot from this panel. Hopefully we can do it again. It'd be nice. But thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Sausomecon, and we'll see you later. Can I help you?
What? Okay.
You're free to leave.
All right, get out.